Hello, welcome to another episode. Don't faint. Don't faint. Welcome to another episode of Digging with Deb. And I would like to go over a few things here today. Some experiments that I'm going to be working on this year. Science teacher, got to do experiments. And you guys are going to come along for the ride. And maybe you'll want to join in some of the experiments too. Well, if you do, I'll give you the instructions on how to do that. And I'll give you the ingredients of the things you need to collect in order to do these experiments. So the first thing is, I wanted to update you. I'm not quite done planting my garden. I do have the early things in. Peas are beautiful. Get them in early, early, early. So if you don't have them in now, forget it. Don't do it yet. But next year, there's always next year. So the one of the experiments that I'm going to be doing is I'm trying to grow some onions. Oddly enough, for some reason, I can't grow onions very good. So I'm trying. I planted them early. You're supposed to. They're supposed to be in the ground already, and they are. I just planted a few just to see how it would work. I'm also trying to pay attention to how I'm putting them in the ground. I'm making sure that the soil is soft. When you fertilize onions, you don't fertilize them with fertilizer. You use bone meal. Got that. Ready to go with that. So that's an experiment. Here's another experiment I think you might be interested in. This is a ceramic made out of the same material as flowering pots. So it's porous, not glazed whatsoever. This company is called Grow Oya. Grow Oya. And I saw this and I thought, oh my goodness, this might be a good idea. What this does is you bury the round part up to the neck into the ground in your garden, right in the garden. And you fill it up with water, and the plants will draw out the water because this is porous as they need it. And so I'm going to try this in my tomatoes because tomatoes like even moisture. I'm going to mulch them just like I normally do. I'm going to space them out just like I normally do. But in the middle of the garden, there's going to be this neck sticking up. And you can see there's a cap so that no little animals will fall into the water. But this is going to be buried in the ground with the tomatoes. And I'm anxious to see how it goes. Now, Grow Oya is not cheap. It is about, I think, like $40 or something for one of those. And I got two. Because this big one, and that's the biggest one they have, it will take care of half of my raised bed. And obviously, I want the other half to be taken care of too. Although if it was a real experiment, you wouldn't have it in there. But I'm going to put it in anyhow. So that's the one. That's an experiment. And I'm anxious to see how that it goes. Aren't you? So we'll see. I'll tell you how the tomatoes go. Now, the rest of it, the rest of the stuff that I'm going to show you, I'm going to go relatively fast because I'm going to try to make some homemade remedies for the things that happen in the garden. For instance, I planted cabbages and broccoli and Brussels sprouts and kohlrabi, and all of them are coles, and they all get those worms, cabbage worms. I don't like that. So I'm going to try a homemade recipe instead of the chemicals that you buy for the recipe, which I don't need quite yet, but what you need to get flour, just regular old flour that you cook with, flour, cayenne pepper, and I think you need something. I think boric acid too, if I remember right. Might not need that. Okay, now if you noticed, all of those are readily available. They're products that you can find. The boric acid is called is found in the hardware store, and it's called Roach Away, and you can sprinkle it around your house to keep ants and stuff like that out of your house. But I'm going to use it for a natural natural pesticide in my garden, and then get a little container that will shake out what you make into your garden. Sounds simple. I'm anxious to see how it works. I hope you are too. We'll make it together in a few days, in a little while. Now, for some of the other stuff, you're going to need to purchase some items. Now, some of them you might have on hand. You might. Me, I don't have this on hand. Chewing tobacco. We're going to make a tea with that, and then we're going to use that tea in an anti-bug spray. But you got to get it first. So get some of that, and we'll make our anti-bug spray later. You will also need some mouthwash. Make sure it's the gold one. You don't have to use the name brand. You can use the house brand, because this is going to be sprayed on the bugs in your garden. They don't care about name brands, so don't get a name brand. Also, get some whiskey. I got a little one and it's the cheapest one I could get. So get some whiskey if you don't have it already. If you do, use what you've got. You need some hot sauce. Now, I don't use this too much in my food, but I'm going to use it in the bug stuff. In addition, get some baby shampoo. It does not have to be the name brand. It can be the house brand, but make sure it's the yellow one. And we're going to use quite a bit of it, so you're going to need to get some baby shampoo. In addition, you can either buy a sprayer or repurpose one you've already got. I mean, come on, people. You can do this. We can do this. All you need to do is make sure that you have something to spray the liquid on. I'm going to try to make sure that it's smooth enough to spray out of our containers easily enough. So, encouragement. Try to get all of these items, and I'll let you know how the Grow Oya is going to work. I think it's probably going to go in the ground today. Yep, today. My husband's going to help me bury it, and we're going to get started with those tomatoes. Today is the 27th of May, and I am so sorry that I've taken so long to get to you guys. But I've had no glasses. I had cataract surgery, oddly enough. I'm finally to the point where I'm not using eye drops very much anymore, and so I can see, and I don't need glasses anymore. Plus, I got a haircut, and my hair's grayer. I mean, yeah. So, I want to encourage you. Thank you so much for listening to me, and try to get some of these items that I've mentioned to you, get them available, and get them on hand, and we're going to make sure that we make some good homemade products instead of buying the chemicals that I'm not really fond of. And if you make my stuff, you can still call your food organic. That's an important thing, isn't it? So, thank you so much for listening, and thank you for watching. This is the come back again, and I will hopefully not take so long to get back to you. Thank you. Bye-bye.